Art style. Each artist have one that's specifically unique to them. There are various art styles that I have seen as beautiful on the internet, and there are also those that, in my opinion, are entirely unique. In the artist community, art style becomes one of the most eyes-on factor to the audience for obvious reasons. To some artists, it also becomes one of their biggest selling factors. However, it can turn into one of the most career-ending as well. So, how can something so crucial to artists becomes one of the most career-ending factor for them? Well folks, it's your Super Cyborg here and I want to talk about just that. Before we jump into the topic, I just want to say thank you for your support on my PewDiePie video. It's the biggest progress I have ever achieved and I would love to continue growing in this platform. Likewise, I would appreciate the likes and subscribe. If you find this video informative, then be my guest to share this with your friends and those who you think will need. You can also support me by following my socials. Links are in the description. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's dive into it. Let's start off with what art style is. So, in general, art style is the distinctive characteristics and visual elements of an artwork. Basically, the things that made an artwork somewhat unique. If we see Disney's character, we can already tell that it belongs to them just from how the character look. To artists, art style is a must-have in order to show our artwork. Artists can develop multiple art styles and can learn them from basically anywhere. Ultimately, however, the audience are the ones who judge us, and their judgment is just simply according to their standards. Just like how people have their beauty standards, especially nowadays, in the art space, that so-called beauty standards also applies. For sure that in college and academies, art standards exist to each different style for grading purposes, at least in my case. On the internet, however, people made that standard according to their personal taste. Now, people means there's a lot of individual, and each individual has different mindset, which means different taste. I believe you've heard this before. You can't satisfy everyone. No one can. People being people just always have something to say towards things they don't deem fit. So what should artists do to grow, especially for smaller ones like myself? The answer is just carry on. To be honest, there is no avoiding hate comments on the internet, nor we can find a style where everybody supports. In this world, even the nicest person has their own haters. So there's no avoiding it. As we post our artwork out there for the world to see, someone will most definitely say something, whether it's on the comment sections or in their head, whether it's positive or negative. In my previous video, I stated how important it is to enjoy things you want to be good at. That advice also applies to this situation. I assume that we, smaller artists, have tried to adapt to the art styles of bigger artists. However, sometimes it can be a pain in the ass. If you find that artist's art style not fitting for you to adapt, then don't force it. You can't enjoy something when you force your way into it. So, what do I mean by not fitting? Let me explain. You see my character? A furry. I draw my character this way because I enjoy furry art style. You should do the same. I don't mean making furry art in case you misunderstood. I mean, if you enjoy anime art style, then go for it. If you enjoy furry art style, then go for it. Cartoon art style, go for it. Realistic, anything. As long as you find it enjoyable, go for it. You need to work with an art style you find enjoyable. It doesn't have to be fitting towards today's standards. Just be confident in your style and form your followers around that style. You can't please everyone and should not try to. Trust me, you'll only overwhelm yourself.
But Nancy, what if I want to learn new art style?
You can, just don't force it, nor trace. It will be less effective anyway to learn by force, and wrong by tracing someone else's. It's just unethical. One more thing for artists. If you're comparing your art with someone's art that's better, don't, and I beg you, don't see it as a competition. If they make better art, so be it. Instead, you should think how you can improve from them, how you can learn from their art style. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm so bad at this kind of deal. It affects how you think, your perspective, and mentality. We grow together. There is no, I alone shall be the very best. No.
But how about the people, Nancy? They said mean things to me.
Honestly, it's like talking to a brick wall to bring a topic about people and their behavior. Disclaimer that not everyone is like this. Listen, those kinds of people will just exist and always will. No matter what generation you're in, those kinds of people will be present, thanks to the cycle of hurt people hurt people. But hey, you shouldn't pay attention to those people in the first place. I mean, you're an artist to grow, not to pay attention to the hate comments. Who knows when the toxic attitude stops in the internet? Just focus on the people that supports you. Sing the praise of those who've sung yours, because when you focus on negativity a bit too much, it will eventually get to you. It's feeding their self-satisfaction. Try to toughen up a bit. Like what my favorite fictional character once said, never let them see that they get to you. And when they know they did get to you, that is where you lose the game. Remember that.